What is up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. So we are in a different setting today, obviously, as you can tell. We're in my kitchen, and that's because today I'm gonna be showing you guys how I meal prep every week for losing weight. I'm pretty sure in my goals, my 2020 goals, I talked about how I'm trying to, you know, create better eating habits and have more of a healthy lifestyle. And for me, meal prepping just makes it a lot easier. I usually just meal prep my lunch, and then my breakfast, I have the same thing every day usually. For dinner, I just usually have whatever my parents cook. And I'm gonna give you guys like some tips and some things that I've learned throughout the process. This is my third week doing this, and it honestly is like so helpful. I am ready to eat lunch. I don't have to think about what I'm gonna eat or what I have to make because everything's already done. So the first thing that I want to talk about is how you're gonna store the food. And I use these like meal prep containers that I got from Amazon. This is like the main part, and then it comes with a lid, and it's like this. It's really cute. These are a little bit too big. I know that these don't fit in my parents' lunchbox, so it probably won't be able to fit in a normal size lunchbox, but I'll put a link to the ones that I was using before that do fit in like a regular size lunchbox. Yeah, these are what I use. I will show you guys what I put in each container. This makes it a lot easier to store everything, and I like having everything already like pre-separated and pre-packaged. Again, so it just makes things easier for me. I don't have to think about preparing or weighing out or like portioning out all my food when everything is already portioned out. So another thing that I want to talk about is what I eat. So I'm going to be showing you guys what I eat this week, and it changes every week, but I like to make sure that I'm eating things that I actually enjoy eating. So for example, I don't like red meat, so I'm not going to be putting red meat in my meal prep because I'm not a big fan of red meat, or I'm not a fan of, I don't even know, I'm not very picky, but I just try to put things in my meal that I actually enjoy eating. So for this week, I'm going to be making like a teriyaki chicken with broccoli and rice, something very basic, but it has a lot of flavor, which is good, and it's very easy to make. So these are the ingredients. Again, if you don't like chicken teriyaki, or if you don't like chicken or broccoli, then you could substitute a different vegetable for broccoli, maybe like cauliflower or some other vegetable that you like. And if you don't like chicken, you could exchange it with tofu if you're vegetarian, or pork. So I'm gonna have some chicken. Honestly, nothing grosses me out more than like raw chicken, but I have to cut that up. I'm gonna be cutting it up into small pieces. Some broccoli, usually like steamed bagged broccoli. And then I'm gonna have some honey, some soy sauce for the teriyaki sauce, and rice. And obviously like salt, pepper, garlic. I have the seasoning all in that cabinet. Also, try to make sure to keep everything as clean as possible. So, you know, if your sink is full before you start cooking, definitely empty it out and put it in the dishwasher, or just clean everything and put it away so that you have space to like throw stuff away little by little, because you are going to be cooking for multiple days, and it's kind of hard to cook when you have a full sink. So definitely clean out your sink if you haven't already. Bro, you want to say hi? Come here. Look, here's my baby. Say hi. You want to say hi? Look, say hi. He doesn't like being in elevated surfaces, as you can tell. And if you like playing with your dog before you start cooking, wash your hands. Which is what I'm gonna do right now. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make the rice, because that usually is what takes the longest, and you just let it cook in the rice cooker and you don't have to think about it. So I'm gonna start off with 2 cups of uncooked rice, and before you actually cook the rice, you're supposed to wash it. And you basically just fill up the bowl, put your hands in it and wash it around, and then you'll drain it. And you'll do this 2 or 3 times, and then the water should get less opaque every single time you do so, and that means that you're taking out all the starch and the dirt that's in the rice. And once you finish cleaning it, it's a 1-to-1 ratio for water and rice. So every cup of rice that you put in, you're going to be putting a cup of water. And then I drizzle a little bit of vegetable oil, some Himalayan salt, and then I mix it up, and I set the rice cooker to cook. So I like to make my life a little bit easier when it comes to cutting chicken, because I hate chicken, and I hate like cutting raw stuff. It grosses me out. And like when I make my chicken, I like to make it easy to eat. I will usually like to cut it up and have it already cut. So I'm gonna get a pair of scissors and a chicken, and I'm gonna be cutting up the chicken into like cube sized pieces. We're gonna get a nice sized bowl, big enough to fit all the chicken in it, obviously. And then we're gonna get a pair of scissors. I would obviously recommend using like kitchen scissors and not like craft scissors or anything like that, because that's not very sanitary. My dad used these yesterday, so I'm just gonna wash them before I use them. probably the worst part of cooking for me, and touching the chicken. I hate doing this. It's so gross to me. Okay, just do it. I'll just do it. Okay, so we're gonna grab my chicken and then we're just gonna start cutting it up. So I like to like do strips first and then cut the strips because it makes it easier. So I'm cutting the strips like this. Once they're cut in the strips, I'll grab it and then I'll just start cutting it like that. This is honestly so much easier than cutting it with a knife. It literally takes me forever when I do this. And then you could cut off like the little pieces that you don't like all those weird red pieces that are gross, and then like the pieces of fat too. And then you have like perfectly sized pieces of chicken. Again, try and be careful not to like cut your hand or anything. Just be mindful where you're putting the scissor. And I'll get back to you guys once I'm done cutting up all the chicken. Okay, now we're gonna wash our hands as much as possible. All right, so the chicken is cut up. I honestly don't know how much chicken is in here, but it's gonna be enough for 4 or 5 days. So now that I'm done cutting up the chicken, I'm going to start preparing the broccoli. So I'm gonna put the broccoli in the air fryer for like 20 minutes. 15-20 minutes, depends on how it looks. I'm just gonna keep on checking up on it every like 5 minutes. And I like to put it in the air fryer because I just like the texture overall. Like I love steaming broccoli, but if I'm gonna steam broccoli, I'd rather eat it fresh and not leave it in my fridge for a couple days, because then it'll lose its like goodness. That's not even a word, but yeah, I'm just gonna put it in the air fryer and then I'm gonna start making the chicken. Now it's time to make the chicken. So first we're gonna set the temperature for the stovetop to medium-high heat, and we're gonna add about a tablespoon or so of vegetable oil, and we're just gonna let that sit in there and make sure that the pan is as hot as possible when we add the chicken. And doing so will make sure that your chicken has a nice brown coating and looks just a little bit more appetizing when you're cooking it. So once it is nice and hot, you will add the chicken and you'll let that cook for about 5 minutes, just stirring it around as much as possible, making sure to flip all the pieces over. We're also going to season it with salt and pepper, so we're going to add some Himalayan salt and regular ground pepper to it. And right before we add the sauces, I'm going to be adding about a tablespoon or so of minced garlic, just to give it a little bit more flavor, and because I love garlic. We're also just gonna have a moment and look at how cute my dogs are. They love sleeping together. I think Groot likes sleeping with Hercules more than Hercules likes sleeping with Groot, but who cares? So for the sauce, for the teriyaki sauce or the honey soy sauce, we're gonna add 2/3 a cup of soy sauce, and then we're gonna add a 1/3 cup of honey. And the honey, I basically just eyeball. I'll let the sauce sit with the chicken for a little bit so that the chicken can soak up all the flavor. I also try and make sure not to do it as much as possible because I don't want the chicken to dry over. So once we're done with that, we're gonna take out the chicken once it's ready and cooked, and we're gonna let it rest. And then for the sauce, we're just gonna leave the sauce in there, turn up the heat to high, and let it thicken up so that we can add it to our meals. And you have some perfectly cooked teriyaki soy sauce honey chicken. Okay, so I'm finally done making all the food. I have the chicken and the teriyaki sauce here, or the honey soy sauce. I don't know if it's teriyaki sauce, so I'm just gonna call it that because I don't want to like offend anyone. I have rice here, and then I still have the broccoli in the air fryer. It's just sitting there. I have nowhere to put it right now, so I'm just gonna leave that there. And now it's time to start preparing everything. So I'm just gonna lay out all of the containers, and now I'm going to be changing the camera again to containers so you guys can see exactly how I like to portion all the food out. So for this part, it's honestly just plain and simple. I like to make sure that everything is spread out as evenly as possible. So for the rice, I'll just do little scoops, and once every individual space is filled up, then that's when I'll move on to the chicken, and then I'll go by group. So I'll do 3 or 4 pieces every time, and then same for the broccoli. I'll just add a scoop of broccoli for each compartment, and then once I'm done, I will add some more of the sauce that I made, and then my meals are prepped and ready for the week. So guys, that is basically it for today's video. I really hope you guys enjoyed watching. Again, if you guys have any questions about what I did and how I cooked my food, please let me know in the comments below. I'll try to get back to them as soon as possible. And let me know if you tried this meal prep. I really hope you did, because it's really good and I eat this like almost every week. I love it and I hope you guys love it. I promise you guys are gonna love eating this, and yeah, you might be eating it every day, but you're gonna be getting closer and closer to your goals. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. Again, make sure to like this video and to subscribe to my channel. I post new videos every Wednesday. It's not Wednesday. And yeah, that's basically it. I'll see you guys next time. I just had to show you guys this one last time. Look at how freaking cute.